How can I understand better whether or not my child has anxiety? What can I do or say to help them overcome it?
One thing that helped me with my kids and my relationship with them as far as understanding how they're feeling was learning the skill of validation, which was actually really hard for me because a lot of times the things my kids said I thought were ridiculous. Like they didn't make sense. And for someone who tries to be really logical, when my kids say things that are completely illogical, my knee-jerk reaction was to tell them that's ridiculous. And what that did is it created a barrier to communication and it didn't help our relationship. It taught my kids, well, okay, I'm not going to talk to mom about that again because she doesn't get it. As soon as I learned some skills of validation, which doesn't mean that you're agreeing, that was something that helped me understand, like, I'm not agreeing with the ridiculous thing my kid is saying because I can't do that. But when I validate that how they're feeling is real, it opens this door where we can have better communication and a better relationship. So when my daughter says things like, I just wish I were a princess, then I don't reply with, well, that's ridiculous. You're never going to be a princess. Go do your chores. I learned to say things like, a princess. Okay, tell me what that looks like in your mind. And just asking a lot of questions. Okay, so princesses have easy lives. Is that what you're thinking? Or, yeah, I bet a princess would be a really cool thing to be. Tell me more about what that looks like. And then she can describe what she thinks a princess's life looks like. And then we can keep talking. And then we get to a point where we both remember that in most of the Disney movies, the princess ends up crying and flings herself on her bed because her life is hard. And then we remember that being a princess doesn't equal perfect life. And what's happened there is that we've had a really good conversation. Our relationship has improved. And my daughter might actually feel better just to get that thought or that feeling out. So validation has been a huge thing that I've had to learn as a mom, and that looks different for each of my kids, depending on what they're feeling. And when I validate what they're saying, that doesn't mean I'm agreeing with them. And that's what's been good for me, is that I don't have to agree to the ridiculous thing, the thing I think is ridiculous. What are the best ways to combat the I'm not pretty, popular, cool, sporty, smart enough in young kids? I feel like it starts to hit around 7, but gets deafening in kids around 11 and up. So for that question asked by Melissa, I definitely don't have all the answers, but I know one thing that I feel like helped me when I was young, when social media wasn't a thing, is my parents told me over and over and over that they loved me. And we still to this day, when I talk to my dad on the phone, we end the conversation with love you too. And for me, that always helped me remember that my parents love me no matter what. And that doesn't help the fact that kids are going to be mean, and that's so hard. I think as long as your kids know that they're loved somewhere by somebody and they know that they have a good open relationship with you, that they can come talk to you about it. And teenagers are hard. I have 4 kids of my own and 2 stepkids, and their ages range from 14 to 23. So through those really crucial teenage years, I feel like we've had a little bit of everything. I've had kids who tell me everything way too much, and then I have kids who I'm begging to, like, tell me more, what's going on in your life. I want to know more, and everything in between. I think the important thing, the best thing that you can do is let your kids know that you have an open relationship and that you can help them feel comfortable talking about anything with you. And then when they're ready, you hope that they will. I don't know that that's a very concrete answer. Raising teenagers is hard. And one thing I've told my kids, it's hard to be a teenager, and I would like to help you through that if I can. So let me know if I can help you. And maybe that will make being a teenager easier.